We all love the powerful and unique attributes of Dialga VSTAR and Archaludon EX, and naturally the cards just work so well together that we gotta combine them. However, I know you've seen this combo before, but you've never seen it like this. This is the most aggressive build that I have been able to create, and it's really fun to play. It aims for that turn 2-star Chronos every single time, and it's just absolutely insane. Has so many options. It focuses on using Archaludon's ability to power up Dialga VSTAR and then use an insane star Chronos. Now, the difference between my list and a lot of lists that you'll see is I actually use the Prime Catcher Ace spec in here, because I feel it helps you be way more aggressive than the Scramble Switch version can enable. I'm a huge fan of this deck list. We have a couple of other tricks up our sleeve, such as the double Vitality Band that will let us consistently be able to hit 230 on things like Terapagos and Iron Hands EX. And we have a lot of consistency cards in here, a purely Pokégear research-focused build that really just turbos through the deck. It's a lot of fun to play, and we're gonna hop right into the video. But just before we do, I wanted to give you a special announcement. The Hitmonchanting store is having its Black Friday sale. It's starting now, and it is going until December 1st, limited time only. All of my products are 15% off. Use code Black Friday at checkout. I have these signature playmats. I have the singles that I'm offering on there with a couple of new hits from the prize packs, and I'm offering some prize packs as well on there if you guys want to check them out. So again, head on over to hitmonchanting.com, check out everything, and everything is on sale. Use code Black Friday at checkout. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're just gonna hop in and win some games. Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchanting channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code Hitmon to get a free month of pro membership. Hitmonchanting playmats are finally here. Head on over to hitmonchanting.com to pick yours up today. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, let's get right back into the video. Our opponent chose heads, so we're gonna be flipping that coin, and it's gonna be tails. Tails never fails, as they always say. We're gonna choose to go second here, and we just want to get that stable setup. We want to get all of the pieces in place, and then from there we'll be able to get an insane Dialga. Now this is a fine hand. The nest ball, I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to grab a Squawk. Here comes a Roaring Moon in the active, and going second against Moon usually is a good call, because you don't want them to get the turn 1 attack. But they get an extra attachment. They're getting rid of a fire energy, which is very strange. Maybe they're playing the Gouging Fire as well, which could be bad for us, but we'll have to take a look and see what's happening. We'll start off with the Nest Ball. The Nest Ball, we have Greninja, we have Squawk. I think Squawk is kind of just necessary for us to grab here. I don't foresee them getting an attack off without a Sada, so I think I'm fine with just one Dialga VSTAR. So we'll do this. Let's start with a Pokégear. Nothing on the first one, but the second one, I feel it. It's gonna hit him hard. Get the research off the second one. That's perfect. So we will just attach here. That 30 poke is very relevant, and let's just get rid of that hand. This is a fine hand to have, because we can just chuck a bunch of metal energies into the discard pile. We could also put the research back. I don't necessarily mind that. We want to leave some energies in the deck though, so let's just Squawk and Seize, get rid of these. And now another Duraludon is fine. A Nest Ball for another Duraludon is fine, because if they KO the Dialga here, we can just Duraludon evolve and KO, because we have a lot of energy in the discard. So for now, that's fine. Let's hammer it home. We'll take that Roaring Moon down. Only 30 HP, but it is very relevant, as you all know. And we'll have to see what they decide to do here. The fire energy has me intrigued. I have seen a couple Roaring Moon lists play a fire energy with a gouge, or 2 fires with a basin with the Gouging Fire. There's a Sada, so they do have the attack this turn. They just have the Sada, they can ditch the Magma Basin, and then at this point, the ball is simply in our court to go for the full Dialga VSTAR play. Again, we'll have to see what exactly they bench. We can potentially win the game next turn. It's just a Calamity Storm. This is our time. It is our time to get this done. And we'll have to see if we can do it. It might be a challenge, but we have Fez, we have Pokégear, we have a lot of important cards to get going. So let's get going. Let's get that Nest Ball down. We'll get the Fez in play. I want to start with the Fez here because it could help us find some other pieces. Other pieces we did find. So we will Archaludon, evolve, and put some Metal Energies into play. We need one more Archaludon, and we need the V-Star, which we should technically have here, if I'm not mistaken. One more Archaludon, and then there's the V-Star. Now, do we have an Archaludon in the discard pile? We do, and we also have a V-Star. So let's... V-Star... We're like one card off of this being absolutely perfect. So I'd rather grab the V-Star, attach, and then we just gotta research and pray pretty much to get this going here. We got it. Thankfully, we got the last Ultra Ball, so we can put another Duraludon down. We don't even need to, really, because we just win the game. So let's just do this. Find our last Archaludon, and that's just a turn 2 Dialga. Like, this is the thing. You don't have to really concern yourself about optimal sequencing, this and that, with the Matang. We just Star Chronos and we win. We just Star Chronos, we kick their butt. The turn 2 Dialga is crazy. Like, that's all we really need to happen here. We're just turbo all the time. The Prime Catcher was in case we had to do like a switch or whatever. It's fine. We literally just swing. We swing and we swing and we swing. And that, my friends, is Archaludon Dialga. Doing what it does best. Taking games in 2 turns. GG's. Our opponent is calling the coin flip. They chose heads, so naturally, tails never fails. We're going to flip that coin, and it's going to be tails. And we're going to choose to go first here. We just want to get a bunch of our guys established. Nest balls, ultra balls, all of the types of balls we want. This would have been a pretty solid hand, minus the Prime Catcher, but we'll see what exactly we're up against right now. Another mulligan, so we're gonna get a peek. It is Terapagos. Terapagos is a fine matchup, though, because we have the double Vitality Band in here, so we can very easily and consistently find that Star Chronos on a Terapagos EX. And then from there, we just go swing through, and if they somehow knock it out, we can just Archaludon with the other Vitality Band. So that is a pretty solid get from the get-go. Here's the Duraludon. I'm hoping they start with a Terapagos here. Just because otherwise we're gonna have a little bit of a tough time, I feel, getting things set up properly. They start with the Duskull, so we will just have to, we'll start with an Earthen Vessel, get 2 Metal Energies, just attach and pass. It's not the worst thing in the world here. Like, we can go for a just an Archaludon swing next turn. I don't necessarily mind that, but at the same time, I'd rather we just hit into a Terapagos so then they can't do any funky plays. But that's fine. We'll set up like double Dialga, this and that. We don't have access to the Squawk, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they're just benching Terapagos right away, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see what they do. Unfortunate that we don't have a Pokégear or anything to use, like the Fine Judge, but that can change. We can just, you know, if we can get Nest Ball, we can Nest Ball concealed cards, hopefully fine. One, we have a lot of options to get the Judge out of the deck. They're just getting their setup going. And at least if we take a prize, and then if they use Dusknoir, we're going to stay on even prizing, so it's not the end of the world. This Nest Ball likely will grab another Duskull's kind of interesting. I don't know what they'll be able to do necessarily, because they fan called makes me think they don't have an Iono, or they're just saving it for the next turn. Another Metal Energy is not fantastic, so we can just go ahead and attach this here, and we'll just research this hand away, see what we can get. We got a Archaludon is good. The Nest Ball I think we'll have to get. Do we get a Greninja and risk it here? It's tough, but we have a lot of search. I think we have to. We just get Greninja. We risk it, and hopefully we find some more ball search. We found the Ultra Ball. Okay, that's good. Because I do want to Ultra Ball, get rid of Squawk and the energy. We'll get Dialga. But, like, it's possible, but that they find a way to enable a Terapagos play. But I'm not super worried here, because if they do, we can try and Fez, and we can actually go for a Thorton play and try and put that Dialga back on the bench if we ever need it. For now, oh, there's our judge. He was in the prizes. For now, this is fine. If they just swing into Archaludon and they don't use Duskull, we're okay. If they do use Duskull and they just swing into Archaludon, then things should also be fine. Here's a Noctowl, and I'm guessing the Noctowl is going to go right away and grab an Iono. Unless they're playing the Colress's Tenacity, is that what the card's called? That gets you the stadium and gets you the energy. If they didn't get a Pidgeot down, I can kind of see that happening. They just got the rare candy, they just got the Area 0, so they definitely have an energy in hand. Here comes an Area 0, and I wouldn't be surprised if this Archaludon gets KO'd here. And then if that's the case, I would like to go for a potential like Prime Catcher on the Duskull and swing into it, or we just judge them and pray. That is my other option. They've gone for the flip the script. Again, no Pidgeot means it's not as likely for them to hit us. They are just going to counter catcher here. Where are you going to counter catcher? The Dialga. Okay. This is a little fascinating. There's an Ultra Ball for another Noctowl potentially. Getting rid of an Iono, so they're maybe going just for a research. If they find the research angle. Another Duskull. This is interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what exactly they're going to pull off here. Maybe they don't have anything in hand. Oh, they did have the other Noctowl. Okay. So this Noctowl is likely going to grab them. They haven't played the supporter, so it's probably just researching something else. And then if they leave their hand wide open, a judge play will be very beneficial for us. We can also vacuum away the Area 0. They're an energy lotto. They're really, really risking it here. Okay. Interesting. I mean, if they can knock this Dialga out, that's fine. I'm not going to complain. It just gives us access to Fez, and we can potentially find Vitality Band to return this Terapagos. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Here's the Energy Lotto. Do they hit it? Do they hit it? Do they hit it? They don't hit it. Okay, we might be fine here. We might be fine. Research. Yeah, that sounds about right. So the research here, this Dusknoir is prepping itself probably to deal with this Archaludon. There's their double turbo. I'm really okay if they just want to swing into our Dialga here. I really am. Like, Curse Blast, maybe hitting the Radiant Greninja, going to a 3 prize turn, and then... Okay, no, they're going for the Archaludon here. Yeah, there's a potential counter catcher play that can happen, which I wouldn't be surprised. There's another Terapagos. I'm hoping they don't counter catcher right now. Vitality Band on the bench doesn't really matter. Okay, Unified Beatdown. This is what we want. They played exactly into our trap here. We'll bench the Fez, we'll Nest Ball, we will Lost Vacuum away this Area 0. The thing is, when we get rid of the Area 0, there's like 3 cards they get rid of here. So it might not be the absolute best call in the world. Like, they just get rid of the 3 at the top. The Vessel's good as well. Let's Nest Ball first. Nest Ball needs to get us this Dialga. We have the Thorton, we have some energies here, and we have the Vitality Bands. So this needs to go down here. We can Vessel. Another thing we can do is we can Boss and hit the Fez. That's another possibility. We just Boss and hit Fez, which I don't mind either. I think we get rid of the Vacuum. I think the Boss and just smack the Fez is probably the best option. We just concealed cards, we attach the Dialga. Thornton is solid for later. Now we just Fez flip that script. The Nest Ball is good as well for this Duraludon. Yeah, I don't mind just swinging into this Fezandipiti here. Take out that. They can try and deal with us here. We can... Like, we still have a stretcher. Yeah, what we can do is we can just attach to Dialga. Or just attach to Duraludon, honestly. Yeah, the Duraludon attach is probably just better, and then we just Metal Defender here. There's no way they're going to be able to Cursed Blast take out this Duraludon. What they can do, because we're on 2 prizes... No, there's no way they can take 4... Unless they Curse Blast this Duraludon Briar. Like, they Briar Curse Blast. That's a possibility as well. But there's a reason I didn't want to bump that Area 0, and it's because I didn't want to give them access to these Noctowls, because then they could just use Night Stretcher to find them, and then go from there. So I think bumping the Area 0 was a little bit of bait, but now the way things are going here, we have enough energy, we can Thorton into, if they knock out this Archaludon, we can Thorton into it, and then boom, we have our Dialga set up, and we can just start Chronos and win the game. So this is kind of like our safety net here. The research off the top is beautiful. Sometimes, like, I think that's the reason that Dialga and Archaludon work so well together, is that you literally just need like one or the other in order to win the game. We have like a lot of options here, and the way we've set up the board is that it's going to be a bit tough for them to, I think, overcome everything. Now, if they're able to Cursed Blast this Duraludon and knock out this Archaludon, things can get a little bit dicey, but they're just going to go for the Unified Beatdown here. So we should be able to just win the game pretty easily here. Let's just lead the Duraludon. If we can find what we're looking for, we have 10 hole cards. Archaludon is our first piece of the puzzle, so we'll play that right away. We got a 10 card search, potentially more with concealed cards, to find our out here, to find our Vitality Band. And we do find it. There we go. That's a nice clean GG's from our opponent. Metal Defender for 230 damage. And that's kind of just how it goes. Sometimes for Terapagos, you just put a bunch of Archaludons in play, and there's nothing they can do about it, and then you take your 2 prizes, and then you win the game like a boss. So what did you think of my new and improved Archaludon Dialga VSTAR deck? This deck is insane. When you pull that combo off, the insanely turbo, just monstrous combo, it is so fun. However, I will not lie, I think the list does need a little bit of fine-tuning here and there. Adding in some Pokestops could be very crucial. I can see the Vacuum being removed. I can see potentially the Thorton and like a Vitality Band being removed to add in some stops. I think swap a Vessel for a Stretcher is a solid play as well, just to give yourself some more longevity because you're a very destructive deck by nature. Pokemon line is pretty good. Oftentimes you do find yourself like wanting 1 extra bench space. Like the ideal board of 2 Dialga, 3 Duraludon, and a Greninja is like very difficult to achieve because you need to use Squawk so many times. And in addition to that, maybe consider instead of 4 research and 4 gear, maybe consider some Carmines in here. Carmines could be very, very strong for this deck as well. I do think there is obviously Scramble Switch is strong in this list. I won't deny that. I think Prime Catcher is pretty strong as well. You just are a little more high roll, but it's a more high risk, high reward scenario because Prime Catcher is just so good at being aggressive. Having that option is very, very important. But I can understand the Scramble Switch being beneficial as well. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. What did you think of this deck? What did you like? What did you dislike? What did you keep? What would you change about the list? Subscribe to the Hitmonchanting channel because I'm posting multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week. Check out hitmonchanting.com. Use code BLACKFRIDAY, all one word, to get yourself some nice Black Friday deals. Discount expires December 1st. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Hitmonchanting out.